Hello again, everybody. It's Takedown. Scott Casper with you. We continue our coverage of the Hall of Fame and its coming inductions. Today is mid-July, and we're going to talk with our next guest, one of my favorites, DDP. Diamond Dallas Page will be inducted into the National Wrestling Hall of Fame, and by a guy that, JR, good old JR has said that if anybody's more deserving of the Frank Gotch Award, more so than Dallas Page, I don't know who is, and I happen to agree. Joins us now. Dallas, how are you?
Man, I'm actually pumped up. I'm having a hell of a day. I've been shooting. I just got done doing a workout, and the photographer from the New York Times Magazine is here. And, I thought it was a magazine. I didn't realize it was the magazine that goes every Sunday into the newspaper. And they say their readership is 1.6 million.
Wow.
And we have a 6,000-word article. It started at 3, and the more they kept going into what we were doing, it built to 4, and now it's at 6,000. Man, if it's half that, you know what I mean? Because we both know in the world of positive bullshit,
Yeah, right.
that, until it's done, it's done. But I know they've been following me around all day, and had Jake here to do some part of the photo shoot too. And it's at the same time that I'm about to get the Frank Gotch Award, that's what this article's really. It talks about what I'm doing today. It's pretty emotional, in a very good way.
And and I count myself amongst your friends, but I will tell you this from my perspective and that of those that are around you that have known you over your career, your professional career, all these years. Boy, have you done it right. And it's not always been right, but it comes out. You work so hard toward it being right. You can't help but be a fan of not just the character, but of you yourself. So congratulations on I think it's the right award too. The Frank Gotch Award is all about bringing positive recognition to professional wrestling through work outside the ring, and
Yeah.
that's one of the things that Frank Gotch did. From a tiny town in northwest Iowa in Humboldt to literally bringing pro wrestling around the world and competing with the best and becoming the best and holding that belt for as long as he did prior to his untimely death. It was amazing. But now here you are, a fitness instructor, a life instructor, an actor, voiceover talent. Your career just continues to recreate itself. How are you feeling these days? I don't know if anybody's asked you that lately. How are you feeling physically and emotionally?
Physically, I'm really at the top of my game considering how much I beat my body up from 35 to 49. I just spent 10 days in Mexico, and I had a retreat down there. I have it every year. Next year, I'm going to have it in July for a week, and then in October for a week. And the people that come, Scott, oh my God, I'm like Mickey Mouse with tattoos the whole time. But I mean, I've grown. I have a relationship with every person who comes there. They don't leave there not knowing and having some kind of relationship because some of the people who've been there for 3, 4. This is their 4th year coming down to the retreat. And some people had been there like 2 times, and we hadn't connected yet. And I had one of the gentlemen come up to me from Michigan, and he goes, Dallas, I don't want to bother you, but I just had a question. I go, first of all, you're not bothering me. It's like we work out hard, and I make it so anybody can do it, and also challenge you. But we also eat really good, but we sit around and party too after the second workout. And I had a relationship with every single person who came down there. And, it takes a lot out of you to be on all that time, but it's so gratifying and it makes you feel so good when like there's a woman, and this is no BS, bro. It's like, she's like Arthur. I met her 4.5 months ago in London, England. She came in holding on to her husband's arm and the walking cane. 60 pounds overweight, but the weight was not the thing. She was in a car accident, and she was in so much pain. less than 5 months later. She still got the cane, but she's walking upright. She did the workouts without a chair, without anything. I'm telling you, bro, it was mind-boggling because one of the guys who became certified in DDP yoga, his name is Hayden, and he was there with me in London and in Manchester, and she was there in London, and he gave her his number, and he was already certified by that time, and he was training people. She came to his class twice a week. She drove an hour and 45 minutes to get to his class 2 days a week, and then did the workout 4 days a week at home. Her story is going to be as strong as Arthur's, and we won't have it out for a while. But it was just so amazing.
When you say Arthur, you're talking about Arthur Borman,
right? The disabled veteran, who lost 140 pounds in 10 months. But more importantly, as we both know, he lost the knee braces, the back brace, and those wraparound canes.
Amazing.
So not just walk but run. And this woman was so inspired by Arthur. And when she came to me and walked up to me, I'm thinking, oh my God. Other people have walked in beat up, and other people walk in like studs. It's the most diverse group you've ever seen. And if you'd have told me she'd have been in this shape a year from now, I'd say you're smoking crack. Just because so many people don't have that real work ethic. And she just wanted to get out of pain. Arthur wanted to walk again. And in this scenario, when I put him on the eating plan, the food plan, like right here, I'm drinking organic juice. I juiced it myself. It took 7 minutes, but it tastes amazing, and it's health. It's why at 58 years young, I can still do a lot of stuff that I do. Eat the food, the real food, that it tastes amazing, but also no impact on my workout. And I do it anywhere from between 4 to 7 days a week. It depends on my road schedule's like.
You are going to be making your way toward Waterloo, Iowa, as I will be, for a weekend of Hall of Fame activities, including a pro show on Friday night. JR and Gerald Briscoe, who both hold you in exceedingly high esteem. And for those guys who are in charge of judging talent, they would know. I mean, they've worked with you both, I think, at both companies, or at different companies anyway, perhaps WCW and WWE. At least we know for a fact that JR has. When they have that type of comment about you, when you see the success that Jake has had, when you see what Arthur Borman has been able to do and others, there's got to be a sense of pride, but an emotional connect that you have with these people, perhaps that it's almost like family, I got to believe.
Well, everyone, this is really funny too, Scotty. If wrestling fans knew how close they could get to Diamond Dallas Page, if they just take care of themselves, if they just look out for themselves, if they put the work in, they would never believe it. They would. I had an emotional connection to everyone who's at the DDP yoga retreat, and some people have been there for 4 years. So, and we have this family that's like Team DDP Yoga, and I set it up like Facebook to help people inspire each other, because I can't do it for everybody. I try, and when I see someone putting the work in, I automatically go to them and get their phone number, and I call them up, and I congratulate them for working so hard, because it gives them that little boost. And sometimes, every day I go through the line, I call 5 to 10 people just about every day, unless my schedule's insane, and say, hey, Billy, it's DDP. They're like, who? I go, DDP. And they'll go, excuse me?
Hello.
And I'm like, didn't you just buy the program? And Scott, sometimes they bought the program like 3 minutes ago.
Wow.
And I always call that person first, and they're going, could you say that again? I go, Diamond Dallas Page, didn't you buy the DDP Yoga program? Like, are you kidding me? Yeah. And either they're big fans or they're not at all. They still can't believe I took the time to call. And I said, listen, I'm just calling to say, thanks for getting the program. And I want to encourage you to go to Team DDP Yoga. I want to encourage you to take those 6 pictures. And if you're trying to lose weight, take the measurements. Because when you get to see your body change month after month after month, there is a sense of pride that comes with that that when you can see it, if you just knew you should have seen me before. If you can't look at it and go, well, they haven't changed that much, and then you look at it and you go, oh my God, oh my God, that's awesome. It's a sense of pride. The big thing that's come out of a lot of people that talk on DDP, Team DDP Yoga, or our Facebook DDP Yoga, one word, or our Twitter at Real DDP or at DDP Yoga. The sense of accomplishment, confidence that comes with a sense that they never had before. I have a kid, Scotty, got with me a little over 2 years ago. His name is DJ. He started at 519 pounds.
Wow.
DJ, on his second-year anniversary, is down 240 pounds. I brought him to my house for the weekend 3 weeks ago. And while he was there, a friend of mine who's a certified instructor, his sister got cancer, and he'd already paid for his trip. And once it goes past that last 3 or 4 weeks, you can't get the money back. It's like you just can't, because they lock it out and they can't sell it, so you don't get it back. So Jason, who is a very good friend of mine, he said, Diamond, please give it to somebody who's earned this trip, who can't afford it. DJ's a student. He's 29 years old. I called him up after he left my house for the weekend. And I said, DJ, you want to go to Mexico? And he's like, oh, Diamond, I'd love to, but I just can't afford it. I said, Jason just gave you his trip.
Wow.
It's like, are you serious? I go, yeah. He goes, but I can't afford the ticket. I said, I got the ticket. Yeah. So it was awesome.
That's what I'm talking about. Diamond Dallas Page, our guest. Dallas has been just an absolute champion for the old guys, the older guard, if you will, and a lot of believers out there, including guys like Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Hillbilly Jim and many others. Well, this particular weekend, it's a 4-star weekend, and including Dallas Page, Larry the Axe Hennig, Mr. First Perfect Stab, will be getting the Lou Thez Award. Randy the Natural Couture, whose new movie Expendables 3 comes out here in August, will be getting the George Tragos Award. There are others, Scotty Steiner, Rick Steiner, Wilbur Snyder, and Astentia, but this is what we call a class of class. And great class at that. When you know that these guys are going to be there for the most part, with the exception of Wilbur, what does this class mean to you and to be included in it?
Well, monster respect for everybody there. And Ricky Steiner is someone, when I came into WCW, see you later, Jake. When I came in as a manager, Scotty had just started. And Rick came with such a pedigree, and like probably the strongest guy pound for pound I had known up to that point in my life. Besides the Big Show, Rick Steiner was one of the strongest, and we got along really well. And the Steiner brothers Scotty. I had some amazing matches with. He was one of the guys who I just clicked with out there. So to have my two Steiner brothers there, that's awesome. And the Axe, I met him when I first started with the AWA. It was Larry Hennig who actually said, I think Diamond should manage Kurt Hennig. And Kurt told me that. I was like, I was only in the AWA for a couple of months, which means I was in days, because I only worked 1 day a week, Saturday, once a month. And so I'm really looking forward to see him. And Randy Couture, I actually was at an MMA big festival they were having in LA, and I went to go to his booth because I wanted to meet him. I don't know if he'll remember this or not, but when whoever he was with said, man, Diamond Dallas Page just came by to meet you, and they're already gone. They're like 10 minutes the other way. Turned the car around, drove back, and got out of the car to shake my hand and introduce me. We had never met. And I'll be interested to see if he remembers that. But it was just such a class act. And you know how. Just all the guys, amazing class.
And people in the business assume that you and Mick Foley are best friends outside the ring or outside the business, or that you hang out with the Steiner brothers. It's not necessarily true. It is a business, and it's a traveling show. You come from various parts of the country. Is it hard to get close to these guys?
Not when you're working, because you work together. You have your ups and you have your downs.
Yeah.
You have your arguments at times because it's a lot of ego, and nobody wants to lose.
Right.
I don't care if it's collegiate or freaking professional wrestling.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody want to go out there and do the job. But you work around it because you're a professional, and when the relationships that you make there, what I've found, and even if you got heat with somebody, used to be a little bad at it. When you see each other, it's like everybody should let that go, And I've seen that with guys that, like with Ric Flair. There was years that we had, just a heat buffer between us, and I just didn't want that anymore. It was just like so stupid because I respect Nate on so many different levels for so many things, and he was at an autograph signing, and so was I. And I pulled him over and I said, Nate, I said, can I talk to you for a minute? He said, sure, Diamond. We walked over by ourselves, and I said, listen, I know me and you have had heat over the years. And he goes, oh, Diamond, don't worry about that. I said, Nate, I'm not worried about it. I want to fix it.
Yeah.
I said, I've always been a fan of yours, and I don't want to feel like there's heat between me and you anymore. It's just stupid. I said, I know I've said some shit. I know you've said some shit. I said, let's start over again.
Yeah.
I said, I know it'll work this time. I said, I'm Diamond Dallas Page. And he got that big smile, gave me a huge hug. And, ever since then, every time I see Nature Boy, it's like we are best friends.
That's cool.
It's like we talk about families. We just have an open conversation, man. It's a great feeling. And there's guys you felt were trying to hold you down, but it just dissipates because we are a family and we are a brotherhood unto its own.
And truly, you guys experience some very unique things that nobody else in the world is experiencing or has experienced. And there is that brotherhood that's behind the drape as well as the brotherhood that's in the ring. And those
Absolutely.
are some very special times. We're talking with Diamond Dallas Page Falkenberg, for you fans that like to enjoy the real deal. Well, he is the real deal. You can join us at the National Wrestling Hall of Fame Dan Gable Museum in Waterloo. Friday, we'll be doing a pro show on Friday night at the Five Sullivan Brothers Theaters. That's to help raise money for the Hall of Fame. And then the next day are the big happenings. We start the day with the radio program 9 to 11, and for you non-drinkers, that should be easy enough for you to come over and sit down and watch. A lot of you guys do. I'm always amazed. And we'll recreate some special moments there as my old partner, the original co-host of the show, will be rejoining us for a special 2-hour walk back in time. But Dallas is scheduled to be one of our guests that morning. We'll do it again. Gerald Briscoe will be co-hosting. JR will make his way over from the hotel as well. Perhaps we'll have Dallas show us some effective calorie burning or muscle building yoga routines that we can all take home. But at the same time, we want you to be there as well for the actual inductions. How do you get there? Well, it's easy enough. I want you to go to the website, nwhof.org. Do what I do on a regular basis. Look up to these guys, understand how real they are and what they can mean to you in your life. It's always a special pleasure to talk with Dallas Page. Dallas, I'm proud of you, brother, as a friend. What you've been able to do with your business is phenomenal. I wish you only the most success you could ever have, and there's so many people benefiting from it. Give them the website for your businesses and the ways to be in touch one more time.
Well, ddpyoga.com pretty much is how you get to invest in the program. But I always tell everybody, don't listen to a word I've said on anything. Go to Facebook, because everybody's got a Facebook, and go to DDP Yoga, one word, and hit the posts on that, what people write. Like, you can't get people to chant DDP or Stone Cold or Hogan. You can't make people do that. They have to be connected to those characters in a huge way. Same thing on Facebook. You get a person or two to write some cool stuff, but you can't get one person after another to write what they write on DDP Yoga or on Twitter at Real DDP or at DDP Yoga. What people write is just mind-boggling to me, and it's just really I'm living a dream. What I was able to achieve in professional wrestling was a dream coming true. But what I'm doing today is like, I can't even explain it. And I can do it the rest of my life.
I'm looking forward to seeing you, brother. I truly am, and it's been a while. But we'll do it up together, right? Friday, Saturday in Waterloo, Iowa. God bless you, bud. Congratulations.
Looking forward to it, buddy. I love you, man. I'll see you soon.
Love you too. DDP.